Donna Jaggers was the girlfriend of Craig Rolfe, who was killed alongside Tony Tucker and Patrick Tate in December 1995. The Crown disclosed to the defence a total of 6 statements made by her which were related to the investigation, with one statement in relation to the death of Kevin Whitaker in 1994. On the 6th of September 1996, she was interviewed in relation to his murder. The first statement she gave to the police was dated the 8th of February 1996, and it does not mention Michael Steele or Jack Williams, but it led to the arrest of Michael Bowman, also referred to as Mad Mick, for possession of a prohibited weapon. D.S. Hadley of Essex Police arrested him on the 15th of February 1996. At the time of his arrest, armed police officers were in attendance. Later, Bowman was interviewed in respect, having provided the 3 deceased with a machine gun in November 1995. Following being charged with supplying a firearm, he was refused bail and appeared in court. He was remanded in custody by the Magistrates' Court, but for reasons that have never been disclosed by the Crown, the prosecution was discontinued. Jaggers appears from notebook entries of DC Bridge and DC Winston to have been treated as a protected witness by Essex Police as a result of her providing this information, though at trial she denied being treated this way. The majority of the evidential statements provided by her appear to have been taken in the company of DC Winston and DC Bridge. The key statement in relation to the evidence provided against Steele is that dated the 14th of March 1996. This statement has nothing in it that might suggest it was taken on a day other than the 14th of May 1996. On comparing the notebook entries by Bridge and Winston relating to Jaggers, however, it is clear that this statement is the product of them visiting her on the 12th, the 14th and the 15th of March 1996. In contrast to her statement not showing that it was taken over more than one day, the statement of Darren Nichols, dated on the 21st of May 1996, shows within the body of the statement that it was continued on the 22nd of May 96. In the 14th of May 96 statement, Jaggers provides details of a man she knows as Mickey the pilot, who I know now to be called Michael Steele, by whom is never mentioned. She claims that she learned from Craig Rolfe that on the 6th of December 1995, he, Tate and Tucker were going to meet Mickey the pilot. She stated that Rolfe dropped her at Lakeside Shopping Centre at 17:45. She had gone to get a dress for that evening. She states the meal was booked for 1800 hours, though police had obtained a statement from Gary Jackets, the manager at the restaurant, dated the 8th of December 1995, confirming the booking was at 18:30. No mention is made in this statement about their 5-year-old daughter Georgie. Furthermore, she does not explain in her statement how she got home from Lakeside Shopping Centre. If Rolfe was dead by 1859, logic detects Jaggers must have been home by 1933 in order to make a call from their home address, 8 Calshire Avenue, to a Basildon number. This lasted for 20 seconds. Curiously, their landline does not make any calls to any of the deceased or their partners that night. If she was expecting to go out for a meal, that fact seems rather strange. One would have expected her to make calls for them to find out where Mr. Rolfe was and what was happening regarding arrangements for the meal that she was expecting to attend. Pre-trial, the CPS confirmed in a letter dated the 4th of December 1996 that there was no known mobile for Donna Jaggers. Following the discovery of the Range Rover, in an effort to obtain information from the public, Essex Police had a press conference on the 8th of December 1995 at 12:15. During this, Donna Jaggers appealed to anyone who had information to come forward. But just like anyone who was with them, maybe in the afternoon, who knows anything about what's happened to them, or if they see anything, to just come forward. We need all the help we can get. The appeal gives the impression that she was unaware of who Rolfe, Tate and Tucker had met during the afternoon of the 6th of December, and by implication later on that day. It became clear as the investigation progressed that one or other of them had met Peter Cuthbert, Barry Dorman, Mark Harding and Michael Stenning, amongst others, on the 6th of December 1995, because they all gave statements to the police subsequently. Message 93 M93, dated 7th of December 1995 and timed at 1500 hours, records information given to DC Norton that she had not seen Rolf since yesterday morning. If this was accurate, it would explain why she was asking for information as to whom they had met on the afternoon of the 6th of December 1995. Had Rolf returned home that afternoon and seen her there, one would have expected her to have found out about his day and who he had met. Had Jaggers been mistaken as to when she had last seen Rolf? This is something that could and should have been clarified. It was not, presumably because the police did not want to draw any attention to the inconsistency to the defence. If, as D.I. Florence stated in Report 4 dated on the 8th of December 1995, that Jaggers was aware that the deceased were to meet Mick, the pilot, on the 6th of December, it is inconceivable that the police would have encouraged her to make a televised media appeal. During the trial, the judge made an order prohibiting the publication of any image of her and did the same in respect of Darren Nichols. In addition, Jaggers gave evidence under the assumed name of Donna Evans. At the media appeal, news cameramen filmed her and photographers took her photo. A photo appeared in various newspapers and the film footage was broadcast widely. Her identity, therefore, was no secret. This is hardly what the police would have wanted if she had vital information regarding those three victims were due to meet on the 6th of December. In addition to the 6 statements in respect to the Rettendon murders and the statement provided into the death of Whittaker in 1994, it is now clear that Donna Jaggers made at least one further statement to the Essex police. On the 23rd of July 1996, DC Bridge visited Donna Jaggers and made a pocketbook entry covering that visit. It was accompanied by DC Winston. Bridge describes obtaining a signed statement from her regarding Darren Nichols' committal. The proximity of it to this event underlines the fact that this related to the committal of Darren Nichols. Nichols was committed for trial at Basildon Magistrates Court only 3 days later, on the 26th of July 1996. Nowhere in her statement evidence does Jaggers refer to Nichols, nor does she mention him at trial. As it is clear from Bridges' notes, Jaggers provided the police with evidence against Darren Nichols, yet failed to provide it to the defence in this case. That evidence, therefore, could not be deployed against Nichols in cross-examination, and more prevented the defence proving a closer link between Nichols and the deceased. Prior to his arrest, and during the initial period of his detention, Darren Nichols was a suspect for the murders, but there was little to connect Nichols to the 3 victims in the material disclosed by the prosecution. Furthermore, this disclosure failure prevented the defence showing Jaggers knew more about Rolf's criminal activities than she disclosed to the jury. In short, the content of this statement, which was withheld by the prosecution, would have enabled the defence to further damage the credibility of Jaggers. By the time she gave evidence on the 24th of October 1997, she confirmed to the jury that both she and Rolf had mobile telephones. In fact, she confirmed that Rolf had his phone on him that day, though she could not be sure that she called him on it that evening. This assertion lacks credibility if she was really due to have gone out for a meal that night and he failed to return for it. No mention whatsoever was made by her of Rolf having lost his mobile phone. Report 4, dated the 8th of December 1995, indicated that Rolf had lost his mobile telephone a few weeks before. Yet message 814, also dated the 8th of December and timed at 12:30, showed it had been lost only a few days ago. What is noteworthy about this discrepancy in this information is that in both cases it is said to come from the same source, Jaggers, via the same officer, D.I. Florence. M184 indicates that the police already had a printout for this phone by the 8th of December. A statement from Penelope Hughes was taken on the 9th of April 1997 by D.I. Florence. She was the partner of Rolf's brother Michael and dealt with issues over Rolf's 913 phone, even though his mobile was in the name of Michael Rolfe and not in her name. Michael Rolfe did not make a statement in this case, or if he did, its disclosure has been suppressed by the prosecution. The statement of Randall Batiste of Orange deals with the connection of this phone and not its alleged theft. It did not state the phone had been mislaid, nor did he say the phone had been disconnected. In relation to the evidence about drug deals, in a statement, Jaggers claims that Steele had attended Tucker's home address a few days before drugs were imported into the country by Steele. In a summary of evidence, not disclosed till after the first CCRC referral, a date of the 7th of November is given for the event. Given that Jaggers is showing Steele's presence as to collect money in advance for a drug importation, maybe the reason the document was withheld is because Darren Nichols, according to the prosecution, went abroad with the money for the drug importation on the 6th of November, and the sighting of Steele at Tucker's address did not fit into the scenario the prosecution wanted to portray. The sighting has always been disputed by Steele, who stated the alleged sighting was pure invention. If Nichols had gone to collect money to fund a drug shipment, he was a day too late. On the prosecution's own case, as Nichols had already left England for the continent. Why is the date 7th of November 1995 in the summary? Was the reality that it was in her statement, but when police realised the problem with the date, her statement was changed, omitting the date? Though the Jaggers statement is dated the 14th of March 1996, it is not served on the defence until the service of the committal bundle on the 4th of July 1996. No prosecution statements or transcripts of interview had been served by the prosecution prior to that date.